Hey guys, how you doing? Mr. Tickzon here, aka Ugo, aka Mr. Tickzon. I hope everyone's doing well and having a blessed day or blessed weekend. Obviously, welcome to October. I'm Nigerian, so happy Independence Day to all my Nigerians out there. It's the start of Black History Month, so shout out to all of you guys as a month to remember and for you to kind of, do what you know that you need to do. Is an important month for various reasons, as per every day is actually an important day because it's a new day to be alive and a new day to breathe and a new day to try and do something new. Every new day is a new opportunity, and we should try and seize every day as if it's our last, because ultimately we got to keep on moving. But today we're back again with the 99 days of value, where we're bringing you a new day, piece of value every day, going up until New Year's Day, trying to keep it consistent. It's just sometimes it takes long to post, but everything will be there. You can kind of follow the trail on the YouTube, on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and anywhere else you might be where people can see and hopefully gain some value from it. So today's day 7. We made it 7 days, guys. We made it 7 days, and if you've been watching 7 days, or you've gone back to the beginning and you followed through, or something like that, hopefully it's adding value to you. I'm in like kind of more sportswear today because I'm getting ready to run midnight marathon at Heathrow. Gonna run down the runway, so that's gonna be fun. I'm gonna move like a plane today and see how the plane feels. Anyway, bad jokes aside. So today's day 7, and today we're going to talk about, again, all of these, when I say the day of value, it's not necessarily just one nugget of information. We're probably dropping about 3-4 nuggets of information. But there's a lot of information out there. Obviously, consume information, it helps you out. But waffles aside, we're going to be talking about respect, and we're going to be talking about your word. Now, your word, in terms of, what you say, is probably the most important thing. Now, it's essentially, to sum it up, don't make promises you can't keep, and make sure that your word means something. If you say you're going to do something, do it, whether that's a promise to yourself, whether that's a promise to somebody else. People find it hard to trust you, and in the extension even respect you in terms of what you say, if what you say is never the same as what you do. And so if you wonder why sometimes people might stop talking to you, or stop asking you for stuff, or stop calling you out, or stop leaning on you for support, or even trusting you in general, is because what you say isn't what you do. And especially if they're working closely with you, or whether that be business partner, relationship, in any context of it, family, community, your a business that's supplying something, a customer. When you say you're gonna do something and you don't do, it's the biggest thing that will frustrate somebody into losing any level of trust, respect, or loyalty to you. Now, your word needs to mean something. It's literally the most important thing you have, and it reflects you. Now, people talk about respect is earned. A lot of times respect is already given, and then it's lost, and then it has to be gotten again. So that if I come to meet you, inherently the first time I see you, I'm probably giving you respect, and then unless you have a reason for to lose respect, it's not necessarily that you now need to go and get your respect gained from the beginning. In some situations, obviously it's a nuance. In some situations you have to get respect gained, but no one will respect you or trust you if your word means nothing. Now, I have something called the A-B rule. And what does that mean? It basically means let your A be your A and let your B be your B. Meaning that if you say you're going to do something which is A, then, and for some reason A changes to B, let the people know that A has changed to B. Obviously, there's always extenuating circumstances or stuff like that, but it's very important that you make sure that when you say something, people have the confidence that they know you're going to do it. Now, obviously, you can fall short of this, but then your people's perception of you is ultimately what will become the reality. And obviously, this is kind of mishmashing a couple of other days of values that will come into the future. But the way you carry yourself and the way you express yourself will ultimately be what people will what the impression people will take of you. Everybody who you've interacted with remembers a different version of you. They don't remember who you are today They remember if they interacted you with last time they interacted with you was last year. They maybe spent a year with you. Maybe that time your word didn't mean anything. For them, your word still doesn't mean anything. That's the last version and last impression that they leave of you. So making sure that your word, whether it's a covenant, a promise, any of those kind of things, make sure that your word has a meaning, because ultimately it's the one true bond you have in this world, and it's the one thing that will represent you when you're not in the room. And just making sure that you do what you're gonna say you do is the biggest thing that will add value. If you're gonna go into business, it will be the one that will establish trust between you in any relationship that you're in, that somebody knows that this person, I can count on this person. And so having somebody that you can count on and somebody be able to count on to you is established by that mutual trust, and the trust is 100% lost when you can't do it. Now obviously if you've broken trust with somebody, or you've gone on a streak of just and sometimes people say stuff they can't do because you're too quick to say yes, you don't know how to say no, you are very some people, they keep saying yes to they're very helpful, so they end up helping nobody. That saying, if you want to please everybody, please nobody. And then everybody has this thing that you say you're going to do something and you don't do it. Some people, is like pressure. They feel the pressure that that they have to do it. Or, even sometimes, let's say somebody, let's say you're doing something, somebody asks you, can you help me do this by tomorrow? You're trying to be helpful and you just say yes, but you didn't think, okay, I got 20 things to do today. I'm probably not going to be able to do it tomorrow, but now you're going to try and do it for tomorrow. When the A is that you said, yes, I can do it. In the B version, you now go back and say, hey, look, I know I said I could do this, but looking at what I'm doing, X, Y, Z, I can't do it. Make sure that to keep people updated in terms of how your words may have changed, and it builds your credibility in that what you will say will always be what you do. And if what happens changes, that you also keep that credibility, because your credibility and your integrity are the kind of thing, the pillars that is easy to break, hard to build, but not impossible to build back. The easiest way to kind of build it back is just to start from the baby steps again. Start, if you've scorned some people in terms of like not living up to your word and not doing what you say, the first thing you need to do is take accountability for it. Even if the person did something wrong, you still have to acknowledge your part into it. Take some accountability into it. Apologize. Ask for forgiveness to some extent. Receiving the forgiveness is not necessarily required, but asking for it is more for you. Giving some assurances that you are in a process of changing and trying to establish that your word is going to mean something, or that you're going to do what you're going to say, or next time you're going to show out. And then afterwards, the true forgiveness or the true show of that is that then it's now to go into action. Don't go and stretch yourself and say, tomorrow I'm going to change. Say, over the course of the next 2 months, I'll be changing, because it's definitely a character situation that if you keep doing what you keep saying you're going to do something, you don't do it. This goes for companies, this goes for businesses, this goes for brands, this goes for anybody. After you acknowledge it and take accountability, you apologize, seek forgiveness, and then you make a structured way of that. Okay, over this period, I'm going to look to change, because it's not going to change. Sometimes can be quick, but a lot of times can be slow. And as much as we as human beings, we love the idea of change happening very quickly. In reality, we don't really tend to it very well. Like, even if the person changed tomorrow, we wouldn't believe it. So in that sense, the person, whoever you are, would have to now do a series of activities where you now rebuild the trust by repeated actions, of which you said you're going to do A, and you delivered A, and then whenever A changed into B, you did B and delivered B, and so on and so forth. And A might change to B, and then B might change to C and D, but then they are up to date with you. You never leave it to the point when it's like they're coming to you. It's almost like, for example, if you have a credit card bill, and let's say you're struggling and you can't pay, most people don't realize that the best thing you're supposed to do is just call them and make an arrangement to them of how you can pay and because they're supposed to be, financial institutions are supposed to be seen to be helping you out in your financial times, in fact, to help you ease financial stress. But then if you now wait for them to call you because you've missed a deal and it's 28 days past due or 40 days past due, they call you, is already long, because in that terms of that credit agreement, you were supposed to do it. A was there. If you let them know that A is turning to B, then they can do something for you, and then it doesn't break their trust in terms of your relationship with them. Ultimately, like we've said in previous videos, relationships is everything. The reason why your network is your net worth is because your relationships are everything. And building those relationships and keeping those foundations strong is by establishing and reinforcing trust in all levels of directions, whether that's up or down. If you're on top of if you no sorry, if you're leading somebody or managing and you're not, you're saying you're gonna do A, make sure you do A, do B. If you're working for somebody, similarly, if you're simultaneously in the middle, you're never ever necessarily in one level. You always have people that are looking up, you're looking up, and you're looking down, left, right. Make sure to be building the bridges by making sure that your word means something, because ultimately when we strip everything back, your word is really all you've got that people can hold you to, and people will establish that. And your word also translate into your actions. Words are powerful, actions are powerful, and as a combination is what people will take. It's not one over the other. Your word, if you say you're going to do something but you keep doing something else, or you keep doing something else and keep saying you're going to do something else, it needs to marry up, and then people will make their picture of that. They say don't judge a book by its cover, but we invest so much in terms of looking at the cover, and ultimately, based on your actions, they're really reading the book, and it's not judged by the book is not being judged by the cover. They're really reading the book, and they're establishing a new cover of this cover means that this person's word means nothing. And so ultimately, to add value and be some of value to some extent, you need to make sure that your word has value, because they know that when you speak, people listen and they believe in you, so that they can trust you to deliver what you need to deliver. So hopefully you've had a nice day. Hopefully you're having a nice weekend. It's kind of cold, rain, but we're ready. Gonna go run. Happy Independence Day to all my Nigerians. And hopefully everybody has a nice month. We're coming to the end of the year, and obviously Black History Month, so I hope it's a good month for everybody out there, and I hope everyone's doing well. Take care of yourselves. Don't forget to smile, because it really does help. And yeah, my name's been Ugo, aka Mr. Tickzon. Your name's been blessed, and I will see you tomorrow.